On today's episode of Wrong Side, the Buckeyes are 2-0, and we dive into the good and the bad of Grambling State with a look ahead to Oklahoma. Oh my God, Oklahoma. I wrote down OU. I wrote down OU. They are
Bruh,
OU.
they are
Okay.
OU.
Okay. Here we go. On today's episode of Wrong Side, the Buckeyes are 2-0, and they head off against OU for a Battle of Ohio. Three top 25 teams go down in week 2, and a look ahead into the biggest games of week 3 across the country. The NFL was back in full swing, with Scott Hansen now taking bathroom breaks with commercial breaks, and a boring first slate, all leading up to arguably the best game we might have all year. Clutch Moment of the Week brought to you by Shore Metals and Outside the Line. And in World Field Champions, we find ourselves on the wrong side.
Time to time, but maybe it's time, baby, it's time, no time.
Welcome back, Wrong Siders. Today is September 10th, Wednesday, September 10th. We're back. The Buckeyes continue to stay hot through 2-0. Jake, how was the weekend in Columbus? Not a very flashy game,
No.
name brand, but the Battle of Bands won. Got to see
Battle
a
of
lot of
Bands.
young players out there, which was good to see a lot of depth. I saw that it was the most catches that the tight end room, multiple tight ends had in one game in Ohio State history. A lot of good, really no bad. Just seemed like a scrimmage out there this week. How was the weekend in Columbus, and what was it like?
Yeah, weekend in Columbus was, it was all right. It was kind of nice to have a little bit of a later game. As a fan, it is a little bit nicer to have the later game because you get to do some things in the morning, grocery shop, do your homework, work out, whatever you need to do before game time. For me, it was nice. Got my grocery shopping done for the week. Came home, made some food before tailgating block, whatever you want to call it. It was a good time. Hung out there for almost the entire block. I think that's like the first time I've stayed a block for almost the whole time in a while because not only was I not going to go to the game because Carter was away for the weekend, didn't want to sit by myself. So didn't end up going to the game, but it was, block was a great time. Packed as always. Good music, good vibes. So it was great. Ended up walking up high Picked up some panda on the way. I got a little hungry before game
All
time.
right.
Picked up a little panda and then got to Allison and Logan's apartment. Watched the game with Allison and Liv. Watched the game, watched the first half, and then it was sleepy time for me. Fell asleep at halftime. Woke up, saw the score, made sure my tweets were all online, made sure I updated everything. That was all good. And then yeah, good W. Obviously, it was great to see everybody get involved. It was great to see Julian play loose, play free, got to throw the ball a little bit more. I think that it was great to see Jeremiah score. I think he definitely gained. Obviously, it wasn't a good matchup, but I think personally for him, it was a confidence booster in a sense. Hey, couple drops last week, big confidence booster this week. Getting to see a classmate of mine, Carnell Tate, scoring again. Love to see it. Got to see everybody just kind of get loose. Saw, Thurman scored. Bo Jackson scored. It was great to see, all those guys score. Really just to see everybody got involved. But yeah, how was game day for you?
Good. Yeah, no, good game. Took out scrimmage. I think we said it last week how winning a big game like that is important for confidence. It just looked like Julian was comfortable back there. It's not to say that he wouldn't have been, but it still was his second game ever. Like, I'm not really counting his Purdue snaps or whatever his non-conference snaps were last year. I'm not really counting those at all. I mean, he easily could have just kind of messed up, done something different. He obviously had the one interception, which was his one incompletion, but he went 18 for 19. He had a great day. Ryan Day said that was one thing they talked about, that he knew immediately he threw it too late. Just learning, like, yeah, he threw a pick. It's a bad thing, but at that point in time, like, it didn't hurt us. But, just something he can learn from, something he can build off, maybe something he can work on that route. Love to see a lot of the young guys get involved. It was very cool to see that. I think this is a class that has a lot of guys. Obviously, Devin Sanchez kind of led the charge the last 2 years. Him and Jeremiah as the names of the group, but both groups have a lot of talent. And it was nice to see Mylan Graham get in there for a little bit. Thurman got in. My only one, I would say, critique maybe, which didn't really be, I would say, critique, but I felt like we used. I complimented tight ends well. But it felt like Max Clare had one catch, didn't even get a look at him.
Right. Yeah,
I felt
barely
like
any
he was in the second half. He looked like the only starter other than Peoples in the second half. But good win. Defense looked firing. I will never be one to protect red shirts. I will always say, if you're good, play. I think Pettijohn deserves to be out there a little more after 2 good weeks. I think that Bo Jackson might find his way in to be in the mix of a running back package. But
I think so too.
Let's keep getting better. OU this week. Our game day, nothing too crazy. We did like a bar crawl for one of Meg's friends' birthdays in Southie, so we did that. Fun time. A lot of college football fans bouncing from bar to bar, watching a lot of games. Had a good time. We were kind of watching on our phone, though, since it was Big Ten Network. Not every bar had that channel, so we kind of did our own thing. And then, it was a great weekend. Fun time. This weekend, going to be a much better game, I think. I don't think they're obviously as great as Texas or as bad as Grambling State. I think they're going to be in the middle. OU had a good week last week. They beat a tough West Virginia team, and I think they played pretty well week 1. So they're going to be competitive. Parker Navarro is a name that's come up the last couple of years in the MAC. Let's stay consistent. Let's stay contact. Let's try to get into a point where, maybe it's not going to be 73-0 again, but maybe get to a point where we can rest our starters for a half or maybe a quarter, give them a chance. It was nice to see TSC out there. I know he didn't complete a pass, but, he led a scoring drive, which was good enough for me. Young kid. He's getting his feet under him. So really like that. Lot of good to look ahead, but hopefully they come out 3-0 and head into the bye week strong.
Yeah, I think the name of the game this week is obviously, and I said this last week and I tweeted it last week, was to get the run game going and to get your receivers going. And that's exactly what they did. They got the offense going, rolling. The defense was very strong. I think that, going into this week against OU, obviously it's going to be another packed stadium. You're going to have the entire state of Ohio there. So you got to be coming ready to play. Obviously, I know a good amount of these guys don't love to play night games. Most of these guys are day game guys. Some of these guys, don't like to be waiting all day to, kick off at 7 p.m. But I think regardless, you have to come in with the same mindset that they've had the last 2 weeks. Got to come in with the belt to ass mentality. come play our game, go play Ohio State football, and hopefully come out with a W going into the bye week before we go on the road against Washington.
Yeah, I mean, this is a big game. They will have a big bye week, which I think is a huge one. Obviously, there's no time yet for that Washington game, but that Washington game is a sneaky, sneaky tough game. Me and I have watched a lot of Pac-12, Pac-5, Pac-10, Pac-18, no Pac now. Football in our days. Washington night games are a tough place to play. Washington is a tough place to play in general. I think they are a sneaky good team. They're middle of the pack, upper end Big Ten team. I think it's going to be not an easy give, and I hope that they are able to have a good week of practice. They get that bye weekend after OU. Focus on OU. Don't look ahead to a tough game. Don't look ahead to, I got the week off. Keep the task at hand. Take care of OU. They averaged 7 yards a carry. They passed for 13.5 yards of completion. They 15.7 yards of reception. Only one mistake offensively was, other than the pick, was the fumble on the Donaldson pitch. I don't know what happened there, but 2 recoveries from the defense. Great win. We're on to OU. The rest of the week.
Hold on 1 second. On to OU. It's definitely going to be a nice atmosphere. Night game, of course, going to be fun. Going to see the helmet stripe out is what they're calling it. Student section is red. The rest of the stadium is gray, and there's some like white sections in the stadium, so that'll be cool to see. We'll see how that gets put together, and how Backkkkk puts that together, and maybe, who knows, maybe we'll get a giveaway this weekend or something.
It still looks like the team has taken, I've heard that from just the last 2 games, it looks like the environment's a little better. It looks a little more exciting. It's fun in there. The stadium seems like it's more exciting during the game, which is kind of fun. So that's always a good thing. And I know Ross gets his fair share of criticism, but it's good to see that. Around the rest of the country, some other big games that happened this weekend. USF versus UF. What a win for them. USF now, I would say, potentially leading the charge, in my opinion. Maybe Army's in the mix for the Group of 5 team. They're 2-0. They have a big game this weekend against UF. Or I'm sorry, they have a big game coming up against Miami, but a big win against UF. Billy Napier goes to 20-20 in his tenure. What a disaster going on in Gainesville. I can't believe they lost. Lagway did not look good. It's a big win for that program. Big win for USF. I would say currently they're obviously in the rankings, yes, but they're leading the charge, like I said, for the Group of 5. Other than that, the big rank games, I would say, OU Michigan. Let's start with there. What do we got?
OU Michigan. John Mateer, right? That's the name. John Mateer.
Yep.
Regardless of what the Venmo transactions say, he still took it to him. Played his game. I thought he ran very well. I thought he found his receivers pretty well. I think there were a couple mistakes that he made throughout the game that almost cost them, but they were able to figure it out. And Bryce Underwood just didn't look what $10-12 million should look like. That's not, obviously I get it. He's freshman, whatever. But I don't give a shit. I'm always going to root against them no matter what. One of the rare times you're going to root for the SEC. But glad that Oklahoma pulled out the win, and glad to see that Underwood was able to get his welcome to college football moment right there in that game. Kind of like, hey, you're playing big dogs. You're not just going to play high school kids anymore.
Yeah, it was a tough game. That was obviously his first big game on the road. Tough to be there. I mean, I know Julian had his tough game at home. That being said, it looked like it was a little mix of everything. It looked like it was a little mix of his fault. It looked like a little mix of play call. Looked like a little mix of just everything being kind of out of sorts. Looked like Sharon Moore was kind of out of it. Sharon Moore is now going to be out for 2 weeks. Against, I think they're playing Central Michigan in the Connor Stallions Bowl,
yep.
And then Nebraska in 2 weeks. So those 2 games, they'll be without Sharon Moore. But, yeah, they need to start playing. It looked like their boosters. It looked like the way Twitter blew up. They were pretty upset. But I don't think that takes away anyway from Oklahoma. I thought Mateer played really well. I thought the defense looked good. I thought they were a good team. It was a big win for Venables. I didn't think he had a signature win, I'd say, yet, and that was a big one for him, and that was very important for his program.
No, I totally agree. Big win for them, and always glad to see Michigan lose.
Absolutely. Definitely agree. Then one of the, I'd say, bigger upsets of the weekend, Baylor SMU. SMU, obviously a playoff team last year. They go to double overtime, and they lose versus Baylor. Pretty shocking. It's a Big 12 game. Or I'm sorry, not a Big 12 game. It's a Big 12 versus ACC game, but a big loss for SMU, who was coming off a good year last year. Pretty shocked. We're in a pick 'em pool for like games. That was my number 10 in confidence, and I picked SMU to win. I thought they were going to crush them, and they looked terrible. So I don't really know where they go from here. They're a team that the ACC isn't great, but they have a chance to win it still. But I mean, with Clemson the way they're playing, I don't know.
No, yeah, I totally agree. I think that loss was definitely a huge hit, and I think that could possibly be a detriment toward the rest of their season, especially with the way, Clemson didn't play great this past weekend, but they still won. But I think, yeah, this loss is definitely going to put a hit into their schedule. And who knows? We'll see if they're able to bounce back. If not, it looks like it's going to be Clemson's ACC to lose.
Yeah, I agree. And I think it's kind of funny because don't get me wrong, Ohio State played their cupcake last week. You could say they're playing another one this week. They had obviously Texas to start, 2 shitters after that. But that being said, it's one thing to play those shitters and struggle. It's another to dominate. And you can say whatever excuse you want. You can say we're not airing it out. You can say we're not trying as hard. There were some close games at times this weekend. Penn State had starters in the fourth quarter. It was 20-0 against FIU before they won 34-0. Then you have someone like Georgia. They beat Austin PA 28-6. I think I saw, let me look correctly the exact number, but I think I saw this stat. Gunnar Stockton threw the ball 34 times against Austin PA, which was kind of crazy.
Huge amount of
LSU beat Louisiana Tech 23-7. Then you have Texas 38-7 against San Jose State. Clemson was in a battle with Troy 27-16. You had these teams that were playing these cupcakes, like everyone says, and they struggled. They did, and that was one thing I was happy that we didn't have. I feel like in the past, we've kind of stuck around for a half, maybe 2 drives into the second half, we kind of take off. But it's, you can't play cupcakes like that. And that's, I know it. I know they still won. Nobody got hurt. There weren't any crazy losses, but it shows what the difference is between some of those teams. You got to come out and kill everybody, in my opinion.
No, I definitely agree on that. I think, yeah, we definitely showed that, regardless of who the team is and what the skill level was of the other team, we were able to just go out there, take care of business. Where some of these other teams where, they're just paying them, $1 million and a half dollars to try and get their, free win of the year. And they're, kind of going through the motions. They're not able to, keep the same intensity if it is an SEC game or an ACC game or, whatever conference you're in. I think that we were the only ones that really took our, as you can say, quote unquote, cupcake last week seriously.
I think Florida State played well. I think Alabama played well, but still, there was a handful that did not. So just not, that could create bad habits. You don't want to get stuck in those situations. Last game of last week, we'll talk about West Coast game. ASU versus MSU, probably one of the biggest Mississippi State wins since Dak was there. An unranked win. Unranked MSU team beats ASU. A big loss for what's his name? I like that coach. I can't.
Kenny Dillingham.
Kenny Dillingham. Yep, Dillingham. That's his name. Just blanking for a second. Big loss. I know they lost Scatterbo, but they still have Sam Levitt, and Big 12 is wide open.
And the receiver, wide open. They have that good receiver too.
Yep, exactly. So big loss. That's a loss they're going to have to bounce back from, and I'm very excited to see how they do. But that's a good team that should not have lost that game, in my opinion. So very, very fascinating to see.
Yeah, it was definitely kind of I would say you could say a little bit of a collapse in that fourth quarter of ASU. I was watching the entire game and obviously, keeping up with the cartoon characters, talking to them about, during the game and everything like that. And they were really frustrated. They were getting excited, during the game. They scored, driving down the field, they just collapsed and they just started going they were all pissed off. And I could totally agree. I would be pissed off too if the team, folded like they did, especially to an unranked team like that. And I know they were on the road. But still, I know that in that type of environment, you just, especially as a 17th ranked team and a team that almost went to the college football semifinal.
Are they 17 or 12?
12, maybe 12. I thought it was 17, but I could be wrong.
Go ahead, continue.
I think as a
12.
team that almost
12.
went 12, as a team who almost went to the college football semifinal last year, I think that you can't I mean, obviously it's an unranked game. I understand it's Mississippi State, who is a very good football program in years past. I just think that they didn't play as good as they probably should have.
Yeah, I mean, this is where when you watch these teams that have a good year, have a good 2 years, have a good little span, you see the luxury of a team like Ohio State. Ohio State doesn't get stuck in these 3, 4 loss seasons. They continue to rebuild, they continue to retool, and they get better. And that's where college football now, it's 12 teams. You can still lose a game or two. It wasn't a terrible loss, but you got to keep winning games, take care of games that matter. And now ASU's back against the wall. The Big 12 is not good enough, in my opinion, to get 2 teams in. So when you have a loss early,
No.
especially in a non-conference game to an SEC team, it's a big hit to a resume. And now we see where they go.
Totally agree. Yeah, they're going to have to bounce back here going into the rest of their season. With Big 12 play, obviously, that's not a great – I wouldn't say it's the greatest conference in the world. So, I mean, if they want to make that playoff again, they're going to have to really retool and figure out a new system.
Agreed. 4 big games of the weekend coming up. I'll talk about them. We'll do them real quick hitters. UGA versus Tennessee, probably the biggest game of the weekend. That's where College Game Day is heading. Tennessee is without their 2 starting cornerbacks. UGA, they have not looked the same as late. I believe UGA wins this game. How about you?
UGA, Tennessee, injuries. With those injuries, I'm going to have to take the Dogs as well.
Okay. The biggest game they're saying in the CW channel history, USF
CW.
versus Miami. The Miami CW has a deal with the ACC, and they're hosting a top 25 game. Miami USF versus Miami, one of the bigger games of the weekend. USF has had a gauntlet schedule. I've looked at it a couple times, but they got Miami this weekend. Should be a fun game if they stay hot. I know Miami looked really good against the game against Notre Dame last week, but gonna be a good game. I'm taking Miami to win this game, but should be fun.
I'm gonna take Miami as well. Carson Beck looked good the past 2 weeks. I hope he continues that.
All right. Then one unranked team, but a good SEC game. University of Florida, UF versus LSU. Big game in the SEC, especially for Billy Napier to either A, get back on track, or B, maybe keep his job. The AD already put out a statement in week 2 saying we're keeping him. You never want to see a statement like that early in the season, but that's what's going on. LSU versus UF. I think LSU is going to win, and I think Billy Napier might get fired next week. I think they're going to buy him out. He's going to get fired.
I got 2 things for you. Number 1, I'm going to rock with the LSU Tigers as I did in week 1. So I'm going to rock with that defense again. And number 2, I think Billy Napier will probably end up getting fired. And I think the campaign for Coach Gruden to Gainesville should start now.
Okay. Yeah, I have obviously Gruden's name isn't mentioned a lot. I know he likes his life in Barstool, but I know he wants to get back out there and coach. So it should be a good game. Finally, another big game of the weekend. Arguably, this is their season, in my opinion. A&M at Notre Dame. A&M has played great football over the last year and a half with a new coach. They were 8-4, 9-4 last year, I think. And Notre Dame obviously coming off the national championship loss. This is Notre Dame's season, in my opinion. This is their season. They've lost against Miami. They're at home this week against A&M. This is the season. I don't know where USC will be come Thanksgiving or October. I don't know when they play them this year based on who's home. But I don't know where USC will be. That's probably Notre Dame's best game left. If they do not win this game, they are in big trouble to either A, sneak in as a 12, or maybe not make it at all. Looking at their schedule now, they got Purdue, they got Arkansas, Boise State, NC State, they have USC, and that's really it. And the USC is probably their toughest game left. Boston College, Navy, Pitt, Syracuse, Stanford, nothing too crazy. Just join the ACC. Those are all ACC teams. Just join the ACC. But I do think Marcus Freeman comes back. They had a bye week 2, which was one of the earlier buys. I know we have one in week 4. But I think Notre Dame's going to come out, get a win, and keep themselves in the playoff conversation.
I'm going to have to agree with you on that one. I'm going to take Notre Dame as well to win. I think that they're going to bounce back as a team and really have to, they're going to have to utilize Jeremiah Love actually this week. They're especially in a
10 carries,
in a ranked,
nothing. Like, got to use him.
Yeah, 10 carries, nothing. This might have to be a 25-30 carry game for him. I think this is going to have to be a situation. I think that being in South Bend helps them. I know that the 12th man up in College Station has a good fan base and good, loud, very big environment. So I think being able to play in South Bend gives them gives them the advantage. I think to get the win.
Agreed. Well, a complete sweep our ways, but all of us agreeing on all those games. So should be. I surely don't want to make us look like a fool. And then with all that college football talk, luckily we got more football on Sunday. The week one was back. Obviously the Cowboys lost on Thursday. The Seahawks lost on Sunday. We'll do those games and then some highlights from the weekend. Cowboys on Thursday. The good. I think Dak looked good. I thought the offense was playing really well. I thought the defense really settled in the second half. They got to Jalen in the second half. They contained, lost the second half 3-0. Obviously, they lost the game by 4, and they did that. The bad, the fumble, the bad, I guess, bad. The Lightning. The Lightning couldn't have come one play earlier and not had the fumble. It came right after that play, fumbled. Happened. Miles Sanders. I hope Miles Sanders is out of the rotation. I hope Jaden Blue gets a chance. So I don't really know what's going there. Another bad. CeeDee Lamb. I don't know what happened. He was on the jugs machine Friday. I heard that, which is a good sign. But too many drops in big situations. I thought Dak led them on a good drive. They had a chance to win it. Too many drops by CeeDee. And then another good, I will say, the cornerbacks. They contained well. Not a lot of work for A.J. Brown or Devontae Smith. Good job by them. B grade loss, B minus maybe. They have New York coming up. They got to win this game. They're at home. Got to win this game though, and try to keep this season going. I'm not saying this is a make or break game. Obviously, I do not believe they're a Super Bowl contending team, but they have to win. Obviously, the run game was fine. I thought they stopped it well. They couldn't stop Jalen, but they stopped the run game. They got to spy Jalen maybe a little more. But all in all, at least a little positive. I was expecting a blowout, so there's that.
Yeah,
sad to see Micah got a sack. That's the last thing I'll say.
That's also, yes, that's very wrong side for sure. No, yeah. I don't have much notes on the Cowboy game. I watched it. Did fall asleep like halfway through the fourth. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, no, I was getting tired too.
It was getting late. That delay killed everything.
Yeah.
But Cowboys, they looked better than I thought they were gonna be. They definitely looked better. But yeah, CD screwed me in fantasy. Didn't really give me what I wanted.
What sucked is he had 110 yards. It was like the worst 7-1-10-0 game in history.
Yeah, awful, really bad. But on to Seattle. Obviously, tough loss. Divisional loss is always hard to start off the year. Definitely
Already gets
sucks.
his chicken bowl.
Already gets his chicken bowl. He'll get that at Thanksgiving. It sucks to lose a divisional game, especially game one, especially in the NFC West, with that being a very competitive division. It's going to definitely hurt us in the long run. Definitely going to have to split with them and possibly try and sweep the Cardinals and at least split with the Rams. It sucked. I'm not going to lie. I was really frustrated. I was watching the entire game. I watched by myself. Didn't want to watch with anybody. Watched game one by myself. I'll go goods first. Okay, goods. The offensive line, other than the last play of the game, looked very strong. The offensive line looked way better this year. A lot stronger, other than that last play. Also good. Zach Charbonnet is probably going to be RB1 within the next couple of weeks.
Yeah,
he looks awesome.
Crazy.
He looks
crazy.
Great. He looks great. I'm a big fan of him. I think he's a great running back. I think he runs hard. And he just finds the openings really well. So I was satisfied with that. Also, I'll call it a half good. I wouldn't say it's a full good because he had some mistakes. JSN played good, okay. He played okay. Had some mistakes. Had some good catches towards the end. Other than that, I'll go to the bads. Sam kind of looked flat. Didn't look that great. I thought we were going to get the game-winning drive, Sam Darnold, in that last drive. Didn't end up happening. Also bad. Can't take a strip sack in the final drive of the game. That sucks. What else? Cooper Kupp, non-existent. Just felt like he just didn't get him involved at all, really. So that sucked. What else? Oh, Devin Witherspoon, you're dead to me.
Okay.
So is Tariq Woolen, also dead to me.
Yep.
Somebody make a
Fair.
play. Nobody made the
Okay.
play on that corner of the end zone. Also, why did we get burnt on that double move from Ricky Pearsall? That can't happen. That cannot happen. You're a Pro Bowl corner. That can't happen. Yeah, just an overall bad was we lost. We lost.
Yep.
Gotta accept it. It
Does
sucks.
Sam know there are more receivers on the field other than JSN?
I think he does. I think he just hasn't gotten the full connection with Cooper Cup or any of the tight ends. So that sucks. I think that there has to be definitely some growing and some changes need to be made. The one good that I will say, way better offensive play calling this week. Way better.
Okay.
So
Okay.
much happier. So much
Okay.
happier. But going into Pittsburgh this week, got to be ready to go. Playing Rodgers. We have a history of playing Rodgers. We know this game. We know how he plays. We know how he throws. You know, he likes to escape sometimes. We've played him a million times in the playoffs. Got to come in to, I don't know what it's called now, but I'm still going to call it that. Got to go into Heinz Field and get the win. Going on the road.
Yeah.
Got to
Definitely.
get a
Go ahead,
road
sorry.
win. Yeah, got to just come play better. The ball's got to be distributed a little bit more. I think that if we're going to run this two-back system, it's going to have to be split a little more evenly because one of them's going to get nailed or one of them's going to just get gassed out because it's just going to get too tiring for one. And I think you just have to go in there with different mentality. You're on the road, got to go get a W. Yeah, got to go get first one of the year. Got to get the first one.
Yep. Both of us need to get back in the win column. Obviously, tough game. Going to Pittsburgh. You know, Rogers looked good. The defense looked okay. Looked very aging last week against Fields, but should be a fun game next weekend. Other than that, around the league, not the best fantasy week, I would say, for myself. Didn't have great fantasy weeks. That being said, I don't know if you saw this. First time since week 1, 2000, that no player had 30-plus points before Sunday Night Football.
That's insane.
Pretty crazy stat. Almost 20, basically 25 years. Around the league, though, here's what I thought. Chiefs, Chargers. Herbert played great. Great win for the Chargers in Brazil. Chiefs looked okay. No offensive help. They have nobody else other than Kelsey now that Worthy's hurt, Rasheed's suspended. The running backs did not get any good looks, I thought. Simmons looked okay. I know that was a big highlight.
2 flags.
Yep, 2 flags. Raiders, Patriots. Obviously, being a local game, I watched that one. Patriots. Did you even scout Travion Henderson? My answer, I'm not sure. I think the answer is no. They're splitting carries. They had him in on less than half of the third downs when that arguably is his best characteristic to block. He outplayed Ramondre Stevenson. He looked better, and they seemed lost. They seemed like they didn't even care about him.
No, yeah, they definitely looked lost. They looked really rough. I also think my other take is I'm not going to blame the field for it, but enough with these international games. These fields are terrible.
Bad. I'm over
They're
the
really
international
bad.
games as well.
Enough with the I know you guys. I know all the marketing in the NFL. They want to push football.
We know you have billions of dollars tied up in these games for the next 30 years.
Right, but at least give them a better field. Let them play. You know what? If you're going to go play in Spain, go play at Real Madrid.
They're in Brazil. They were in Brazil.
Or Brazil. Sorry, Brazil. Go play where the national team plays. Go play at Go play. If they're going to play in other countries too, like go play where the best field is in that country. Because enough with these injuries. It's getting annoying. I'm tired of seeing these guys get hurt, especially on these really bad soccer fields in Brazil and Spain and London and Germany, wherever it is. It's all bad. Another game I want to touch on that was really good is Buccaneers. Awesome. Emeka looked great.
Buccaneers, awesome. Yeah, what a week for him. What a week. A debut. Not even a week, a debut.
Yeah. Great debut for him. He looked awesome. We saw that tweet today. Called his own, called that he was going to score on that last drive. That's awesome. Great to see him. I think highlight of the weekend, just not only in the Buccaneers game, but
Buckeyes.
Buckeyes looked great this weekend. Other than JSN fumble, they looked good.
I mean, Zone 6 had a hell of a weekend. I think Olave had 50 yards before they threw him that hospital screen ball, whatever the hell I was watching on that play. The Steelers, they beat the 2019 Buckeyes. They've played well, the 2019 Buckeyes, the New York Buckeyes. But that was a good game, fun game. Commanders looked okay. Bengals, Browns, my God, that was terrible to watch. Packers look fun. Lions look like they are lost without their coordinators. Rams,
Lost.
Texans was defensive game. And then the game of the weekend, I thought, Ravens, Bills. I have the
Ravens,
Monday night
Bills.
game here on next to me, so I just saw a stat pop up. Two crazy stats of the weekend. The
Let's hear it.
Ravens were 25-0 in their history when they scored 40 or more points. Lost that last night. And let me get you the exact stat. I'll tell you the exact number.
Is this from this game?
This is from this game, but like players in that game, I would say.
Okay. Players in
Let me
that
go to
game.
my,
Sounds good.
Text today. I have it right here. Hold on. Monday stat of the day. Derrick Henry has been in the NFL for 10 seasons. After last night, he has 11,592 career rushing yards in the
This
NFL.
was great.
This
I
is
saw this.
less than the amount of rushing yards he had in high school, 12,000.
He's 500 away still.
Pretty remarkable that he has not hit that yet. What an
It's unbelievable.
absurd stat. Absurd, I thought. So pretty crazy. What a game. I went to bed. I thought it was over. It was late. It was like 11:30. I was getting tired. I went to bed after, like middle of the third quarter. I saw it was like 40-25. I was like, it's over. It was not over. A lot of fans left, including myself, to bed. But that being said, what a game from Josh Allen. What a game from James Cook. What a win for them. That's how you start the season on the right foot. I didn't know this was the last season of that stadium, so pretty cool. But great end of the day to a really shitty week one, in my opinion.
Definitely a great way to end the week. I think we're gonna get to see that matchup one more time. I think towards the end of the year, I think that's gonna be the AFC Championship game.
Okay,
you get that rematch, and I think it's gonna be fun. I think the game was. I was watching the highlights this morning. There were some unreal plays, and that in the second half of the third quarter into the fourth. I mean, when you score that many unanswered points, how could you not? Like, that's just great football. That's just a guy who was playing not only for himself but for his team and just wanted to get that W. Especially Sunday Night Football. You're at home. Want to get the W.
Absolutely. Great game. Very fun. How'd your fantasy teams do this week? Mine sucked, but how did yours do?
2-1. 2-1 this week. I beat you, so I'm happy.
Beat me. I count that as a fraud win. It was Dynasty tanking this season, so it's okay. It's
a win's a win.
And I felt like you did not play that well to begin with. So
Didn't play well. I had a couple guys have like very little numbers, but I'll still take it. Win's a win in any brother battle.
Absolutely agreed. But yeah, great week of football. Very fun. A lot of fun football coming up. We're back to Monday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Get your things done Tuesday, Wednesdays, because you won't be able to do it on the rest of the week. So very fun. Sure. We're going to do a quick ad read, though, and go to Clutch Moment of the Week. Our Clutch Moment of the Week is brought to you by Shore Metals, serving Southern California since 1970. Big enough to serve you and small enough to know you. See Stan, he'll help you out. Jake, what do you got?
I got two, like usual, this week for Clutch Moment of the Week. Number one goes out to QB1 himself, Josh Allen, and the Bills for scoring 15 unanswered points. The Baltimore Ravens picking up their first win of the year on Sunday Night Football. Second Clutch Moment of the Week, I would say it goes to also another team, is the U.S. Walker Cup team. For those of you listeners, and Michael, because I know they don't know who it is or what they are. The U.S. Walker Cup team is the amateur version of the Ryder Cup.
Okay.
So we got the W this year.
Is that this week?
No, we have 2 more weeks. Don't worry.
Okay.
2 more weeks till that. But no, U.S. Walker Cup team, the amateur, highlighted name, Michael Lasasso from Ole Miss was on the team. It was played at Cypress Hill, Pebble Beach, California. U.S. ended up winning 17-9. So some domination. I was just looking at the stats earlier. We rolled them on, I think it was Saturday individuals. We rolled them. Team matchup on Saturday, we kind of a little shaky, but still got some big wins. So shout out to them, and hopefully that motivation of the amateurs winning will give our pros a little motivation to go out at Bethpage.
Absolutely. Absolutely awesome. Didn't even know that was going on. Good to you learn something new every day. Very fun. Yeah, I really do hope that does give us motivation because we need it. We definitely need it. It's going to be a good one in a couple weeks at Bethpage. My clutch moment of the week. I got a couple. One, the Baltimore Orioles. Great job breaking up the no-hitter against the Dodgers and then winning the game against them. A walk-off to beat them. Jerry Lucas, NBA 75, and fellow Beta brother is getting a statue at Value City Arena in Columbus, where Ohio State plays. That's going to be happening November 4th. Very cool announcement. I don't know how many of these statues they have. I've never even heard of them doing any.
He joins Jesse Owens, Archie Griffin.
Wow.
And I think that might be it. There might be one more. I think there's only like 3 or 4 OC
pretty good
statues.
Group. Pretty good group to be a part of.
Oh, and Woody Hayes. Woody Hayes.
Yeah, Woody Hayes. You're right. Pretty great group to be a part of then. Very exciting for him. I told Jake that maybe Beta could do something for that. I thought that'd be very cool. And the freshmen looked awesome in the Buckeye game. It was fun to see them. Looked awesome. I want them to keep playing, give Bo Jackson the ball a little more, get Mylan Graham involved. But yeah, great clutch moments. No, and I actually have one more. One more. I wrote it down. It was outside of my message. Randy Moss beating cancer.
Let's go.
Cool. They had a cool segment today on Monday Night Football. Obviously, that's his crew. And, him ringing the bell. I think he's doing the Peyton and Eli cast today to talk about it. So very cool. Good for him.
Awesome. Glad to hear that he's all clear now.
Yep. Awesome. Great week of clutch moments. Now we're going to kick it to Outside the Line.
Finishing up with Outside the Lines, starting off with everybody's favorite Tone Deaf Person of the Week. Michael, who you got? Tone Deaf Person of the Week.
Got two this week.
Ooh,
Number one, I mentioned earlier how the Bills are in their last season in a new stadium. They were showing a little clip before Sunday Night Football. I don't know if you
saw the clip. Yep, saw the clip.
Stadium looked awesome. Couple of things on the stadium. One, are there still only like 2 or 3 people that make all the stadiums? Because it looks just like SoFi.
Yes.
Number 2, why does SoFi have a roof and the Bills don't? They said it will protect from the wind and stop the wind, but it is not going to protect all of the snow that comes down from the sky and the rain during the playoffs. So thought that was dumb. I'm not one to say that I like football. Just seemed dumb. If you're going to build a new stadium, if you're committing to the new stadium, why not do that? Why not have that? I know it takes away from grit football, but just my opinion on it. My second tone deaf, he was all over the news getting plastered. Here he is on my TV actually right now while I'm talking. Ryan Clark for his take against Peter Schrager. Peter Schrager's worked incredibly hard in his career. He's been great at takes. He's hit on a lot of takes. He's worked his way up on Good Morning Football. He was on NFL Network. Obviously, ESPN bought them, so now he's on Get Up or First Take on those shows. And Ryan Clark kind of said, that's not this is the player in me versus the player in you. And Peter Schrager had a great response, I thought. He was like, look, I'm giving you from a different point of view, a non-player. And he's like, don't belittle me. Don't think you're better than me. It was kind of dumb. Ryan Clark had bad takes all weekend. He was like, oh my God. I saw Thursday. He's like, oh my God. Are the Cowboys ever going to sack the quarterback? They had 1 sack. The Eagles had 0. They ended up getting the first sack of the game and they didn't get it. And then just throughout the weekend, I was just seeing him post things. And I was like, dude, just stop talking. You're so wrong at everything. Just so dumb. It was very frustrating. Not to say that I'm anywhere near Peter Schrager's level. I'm just a kid with a mic and a couple of followers, but have some respect for your colleagues. Thought it was really shitty. And he was tweeting all day Sunday, a thread of tweets. And then just mixed in or maybe it was Friday, the game on Friday. He was tweeting about the Chiefs Chargers game and then mixed in one apology and then just kept tweeting about the game. So just kind of ridiculous, I thought.
Sounds a little soft, if you ask me. Sounds soft on his end. Obviously, got to respect your colleagues. My tone deaf goes out to the woman, as they're calling Philly's Karen.
Yep, I saw this.
After the interaction that she had with a family at the game the other day, after Harrison Bader home run, the dad ended up, ball goes into the stands. He grabs the ball, gets it for his little boy, gives it to him, puts it in his glove. The kid's all happy. It's home run ball, obviously excited.
Ball was live, I think. I think the ball was on the
Live
ground.
ball.
Nobody had it.
Live ball. Nobody called ball. There was no catch. It was a free fumble on the ground. And this crazy ass woman goes up to this family and is like, "That's my ball. Like, you took my ball." And the dad is like, "Please go away. Like, I didn't take your ball. Like, the ball was live. I got it and gave it to my son." She was being a real pain in the ass. So the dad was just like, whatever. He kind of had enough of being belittled by the Phillies Karen, and sadly to say, he took the ball out of his own son's glove, gave it to her so she'd shut up and go away. But bright side, Harrison Bader, who hit the home run, caught wind of this, ended up inviting the family down after the game, signed some autographs, took some pictures with them. So good guy on him. But yeah, tone deaf is Philly's Karen.
Yeah, that was a good one. I saw that Savannah Bananas has already done it. Everybody's on her already. Haven't seen her name yet, so I'm not pro doxing anybody. But that was
I heard she caught some heat. I think she's a teacher, so she got some heat from the school.
So some news is coming out then. Maybe there's more that's coming out. So, all right, yeah, that was bad. I did see that. Right and wrong side. What do we got to wrap it up?
Right side, 2-1 fantasy football this week, and I am in round 1 of the fantasy baseball playoffs, trying to make a push to finally win that league, hopefully. I had a rough couple of weeks, lost to Joe this past week in baseball, but going to have to try to get the W and see if Bryce and I can push towards that finals.
Okay, that's a good right
Wrong
side.
side, lost to Bryce in fantasy this week. In fantasy football, my team just looked like crap. They just didn't play well together. He took it to me towards the end of the afternoon into the night game. And the Seahawks lost. That's my other wrong side. Seahawks lost. Yeah, just tough. I'm not going to get over it until Sunday comes. Yeah, didn't wear gear. I was planning on to wear gear to class today. They lost, so I'm not going to wear gear until we come back around. Right and wrong.
Fair enough. Yeah, I wore some gear. I'm wearing a sweatshirt right now, but that's just the sweatshirt I've been wearing right now, so kept it on. But yeah, I didn't wear maybe it was my fault. I didn't wear my polo to the office on Thursday. Maybe it was my fault. But obviously not gonna be a good start for the Cowboys. Hopefully they get back in the win column. Right and wrong side for me. Great weekend coming up. Going to New York, meeting Mom for a couple days. Saturday, we're going to Portnoy's One Bite Fest, which will be a really fun time. Excited for that. I think we're going to go to a Ohio State backer bar at night, and then maybe the Sinatra Carnegie Club, which sounds like a fun time. Wrong side, though, it was raining a lot this weekend on Sunday and even Saturday during the bar crawl. But since there was rain this week, it is going to delay. We were supposed to have the softball playoffs. It's delaying it to next Sunday. I will not be here, and I'll be out for the softball playoffs.
1 game playoff or fully extended?
Two. It's 4 teams, so. Yeah, I'm bummed. I'm bummed about it, but can't really do much about it. So.
But yeah, also right side for me. Mom's coming in. When this comes out on Wednesday, she had already come, but we're having dinner on Tuesday in Ohio.
Nice. Yeah, nice. It'll be good to see her, so it'll be a fun time. But good week. A lot of fun coming up. Keep working hard, everybody. Have a good Wrong Side Wednesday. We'll see you next week. Go Buckeyes. We'll see you next week.
Stay blessed and go Bucks.